Mais Haiti Exchange, Haiti Exchange.
Hello, I'm Pascal Antoine, webmaster of HaitiXchange.com. Recently, I got the opportunity to interview the author of this book, Voodoo in My Blood, by Dr. Carolle Jean-Murat. Come check it out. And I have here, direct on Skype, from San Diego, California, I have Dr. Carolle Jean-Murat, or I call her Dr. Carolle. How are you? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Having a great morning. It's beautiful here today.
Now, Dr. Carolle is known, she's an intuitive healer and illuminator of the spirit. What is that?
I'm a gynecologist by training.
Okay.
And what I do right now, in my 6th decade of life, I've been in medicine for over 42 years. I started medical school 42 years ago. I am now not a surgeon, but I can, when a patient comes to me, I can see exactly what's going on in his or her life, and her past and everything.
Now, you wrote a book, which you sent me your book, and I'm telling you, I have to admit, I've only read about a third of it, but my gosh, it is so interesting. Voodoo in My Blood. A healer's journey from surgeon to shaman.
Yes. Wow.
Tell us what the book is about. Now, I read it. Don't spoil the end. And I know this is sort of like a memoir kind of thing. Don't spoil the end. But it's very, very interesting. Tell us a little bit about the book.
It's about my story from growing up in Haiti. My grandfather was a voodoo priest on my mother's side, my mother's father, that I loved dearly, but I grew ashamed of him. I was raised in Port-au-Prince, and he was in Bizoton in La Cour des Real. And when I was 9, I was sick. They took me to his temple because nothing could be done for me. Right. And since then, somebody that I grew up that I would be ashamed of, that I should be, I should have no connection with, and I love him. My aunt raised me, and she would say, "Oh, yes, you have nothing better than those people who dance barefoot in the Voodoo temple." So as a little girl, I was always torn. Here are the people that I love, who love me, who healed me, and that's the time I decided to be a doctor. And he said, "No, you cannot be a mumbo. What about being a doctor?"
And the fact that you were torn with the voodoo background also, you somehow decided to merge the two.
It wasn't even a choice.
I just got up to the part where you're leaving for medical school. That's where I got up to. What I like about the beginning of the book is I think you paint a very clear picture, and you use historical anecdotes to show exactly what else was going around. For instance, when Martin Luther King passed away, when Papa Doc when Papa Doc passed away.
Yes, and I left in 1970.
Right.
I finished school and to go to medical school, and I grew up under dictatorship. My father had to live into exile. So
you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot, and I think you paint a very good picture of that era, of that time. And another thing that I found very interesting in your book is when you first came to New York and you were waiting for your father to come pick you up at the airport, and he didn't show up. But then when he comes to pick you up, it seems like he was at 120 Lincoln Place.
Yes.
C'est là, oui. C'est là, it's right.
That was 42 years ago.
That's right around the corner from me. A very different neighborhood right now, but it's right there.
7th Avenue.
Right there. That's where I am right now.
Where we stay.
What do you have to say about Haitians who sort of, they use every effort in their body to sort of disengage themselves with voodoo? That's not something I do. That's not something... I had some people even tell me, oh, voodoo, that's not part of Haitian culture. What do you say to those people?
I cannot... The only thing I can say, I have a grandfather that I love. And I was told since my mother was pregnant, he said, she's the chosen, she's the one. And we need to say what voodoo is about. It's a religion. They say Haiti is, let's say, 80% religious and 100% voodoo anyway. But for me, what it was, it's as a little girl, being ostracized, being kicked out of school. I participated in the 2 voodoo ceremonies, and I begged my mother to take me. And then when she realized I was taking part of it, she yanked me and took me home, because you don't do things. Me, I have no choice. I'm trained in the best university. I'm a bona fide, well-trained, board-certified OBGYN surgeon, and I'm finding myself when the patients come to me, I'm hearing a voice that says, you don't need to operate, just touch her, she'll be okay. And 20 years later, there are 3 children being born of that woman.
So how do your patients and how do potential patients see you now? Do they necessarily know that you're using your gift to heal them, or
Okay.
how does it work? How did you marry the two so cleverly together?
You need to understand, I am going to be 62 years old.
Okay.
I started medicine in San Diego, California 30 years ago. I was an obstetrician from 1982 to 1992. I quit because I'm told I need to do a cesarean when the baby's telling, I'm okay, I'm okay. Then, from 1992 to 1999, I'm a surgeon only, gynecological surgeon, but pretty soon, I don't do surgery because when the patient is coming to me and they are bleeding or whatever's wrong with them, I can heal them without the knife. So by 2001, I quit medicine.
Okay.
And I opened a wellness center, the first in the world, an integrative wellness center. In 2003, we opened it, and then people are coming to me now. I'm clearly seeing. I'm seeing the woman say, "Oh, I think it's my hormones. I think it's this. I think it's that." And I'm saying, "No, this is what happened to you at your childhood. This is why you're bleeding. This is why you don't want to have sex. This is why you're having weight problems." And I can see it in her. And what I do is mostly making the person understand we are the mind, the body, the spirit. And this disconnect with the spirit, that's what's making you sick.
Right.
And the more, when we're talking about my voodoo roots, I took my grandfather's last name. That's what my last name is, Jean-Murat.
Okay.
I have no choice because I see people in 3 dimensions.
So what do I tell the, I met a girl, I was at a bar once, and I met a girl, we just started talking, you know, at the bar, very casually. And then I mentioned that I was of Haitian descent. And she turned around and kind of half jokingly said, "Oh, so what now? You gonna do voodoo on me or something?" What do I tell people like that? What do I tell them?
And just say, then you should read the book, Voodoo in My Blood.
Okay.
And it will, and you say, simply, it's a religion, it's a belief system, and voodoo, it's about ancestors, love, and helping, and sharing.
Now, I have my book. I have a signed copy. This is not going there. This is mine. I'm going to finish reading it over the weekend. I'm going to finish. It's a page turner. It's definitely a page turner. Where can people get this book?
You can go to Amazon.com.
You can click the link right below this video. There will be a link.
Okay, you can put a link.
There you go.
Directly, or you can go to any bookstore. You can go to Barnes & Nobles.
Okay.
Here we have Barnes & Nobles, so you go to Barnes & Nobles and they say, I want this book. Okay. So the more people ask for it, the more they'll carry it.
Right, so you can read it electronically too, so I can put it on my iPad, on my Nook, on my whatever.
You can download it right away.
So everybody, go pick up this book. It's a very interesting book. I'm almost embarrassed to say that I'm still reading it. I mean, it's really a page turner. Very, very interesting. Do you have any last words?
I am truly blessed. It's been a lot of sacrifices, a lot of trust that I had to become who I truly am. Yes. And like my publisher said, after you read this book, you ask yourself, am I truly living the life I was meant to live? I am living the life that I've meant to live. And whatever prices I paid for it in the past, it was all worth it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Carolle Jean-Murat. Carolle Jean-Murat, but I can call you Dr. Carolle.
Carolle.
Okay. Thank you very much for being here with us on HaitiXchange.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Anytime, anytime.